Hey Camaro Nation, here we are back at it again. So the dash may not look much different than the last time you saw it, but it actually is back together. I have the new wiring harness in. I ran all the new wires I need to the console because, as I said before, this was a brand new dash harness for a manual transmission, no console gauges Camaro. I picked it up real cheap locally, and I bought the conversion kit, American Auto Wire, to add the console gauges to it. So I did all that stuff, and now it is just like it would have been if it had been, a $700 American Auto Wire harness. I paid a lot less than that, so that was good. It's all back in. I tested everything. I have my steering column just hanging here with a bungee cord. This is a brand new I Did It column I bought to replace the original column. When I bought the car. That is an original 68 tilt column that is screwed up. So I figured it would cost a couple $100 to rebuild it if I could even get the parts. And this I Did It column was less than $400. My cost through my company. So to me, it wasn't worth spending the day of rebuilding on this thing. And like I said, where am I going to get the parts? I have no idea. So I just elected to buy a brand new column because my directional switch is broken on that one too. And that's like $125 just for that. $100 anyway. So just mathematically, it seemed like the best idea was to buy a new column. So brand new column, new wiring harness, all the conversion stuff is in. I tested it, everything works. The reverse lights obviously don't because the wires aren't hooked up to the splash panel yet, but I did test them back there with a test light, and they do work. All the appropriate wiring is in the firewall now. My reverse light switch is tucked up there, so that goes up to there. And my new headlight switch is in. The vacuum hoses for the Rally Sport headlight stuff is in. All that crap. I had to make a bracket for this part of the harness only because that little plastic pin right there, it's supposed to go into a hole. Well, it was broken when I got it. The guy I got it from must have broke it by accident, or I broke it, one or the other. So I just made a quick bracket out of a insulated clamp. There was a screw hole already there. I just reutilized that, so that holds it up nicely. That just clips on there, blah, blah, blah. Everything is run well. Now I have to take the defroster duct, clean it all up. I'm probably gonna put some foam around the edge that butts up to the dashboard because when I took it apart, there was a huge gap between the defroster duct and the dashboard. So I will remedy that and bolt that back in. Then I will put the heater box back in. It's all ready to go. I've tested it under pressure numerous times. I'm confident it's not going to leak, so let's get going on all that. Before I reinstall the heater box, I also want to clean up this area of the firewall. It's nice and shiny. This car, again, was restored. The paint is beautiful everywhere. It's just been sitting for 8 years, so it was all dingy and dusty and crappy. So I just had to wipe it all down with glass cleaner. And then I use simple green to take out the swirl marks and give it a shine. It looks good. It's not 100%, but it looks good. One thing I did notice that's weird is I thought the heater wire was not hooked to the blower motor, the heater blower. But if you look, it actually is. It goes up there and you can just barely see it under there. What it has is, this is a resistor, or I take that back. This is like a noise suppressor. There's the original orange heater blower wire. It goes down to this rubber plug that goes into another half of a rubber plug into that condenser, which bolts onto the lower firewall, and then that black wire goes up there, and that goes to the blower. So this is part of the AM/FM radio package. If you look in the assembly manual, you see it in there. That whole gizmo is in there. So it is connected. I didn't think it was. I thought the wire was just hanging, but silly me. Look a little closer and you see it's actually connected. I don't like how it's run. According to the assembly manual, this orange wire should be bunched up and tucked in over here where the small block heater core nipples would be. And then the wire should go underneath and then up around there. So I may fix that later. My friend I bought the car from may not have done that way because this is a big block and you don't have a whole lot of room back there. So I will remedy that at some point. All right, the defroster duct is put back in. See it up there in the dash. It's a simple thing, but it's kind of a pain in the nuts to get in. But that's the story of my life. I guess everything I do is a pain in the nuts lately. So that's installed. I even bought this sexy speaker. It's a 200 watt dual 5.5 inch or 4.5 inch, whatever the hell it is, Kenwood deal. I figured I'm here, might as well throw it in, right? I don't know what I'm going to do for stereo eventually, but I need something. There was no speaker at all in there, so I just bought this thing with the bracket, and there you go. So now I'm going to throw the heater box back in and keep going. Heater box ready to install. I hooked up the heater controls. My friend Dave gave me the idea to lube everything up and hook it up on the bench, and you can watch everything move and adjust it, see if the cables bind. I think that was a great idea, so that is what I did. So it is ready to pop in the car now. The heater box is back in. I didn't tighten everything up yet because there's no seal between the defroster duct and the heater box. From what I'm reading, there was no seal there, which I think is ridiculous. I checked my Firebird. There is a seal there, but I made it out of a, like a bang-on weather stripping for like the corner of a, like a panel like this. You bang it on there. So I'll probably just make one myself for that, because you can't leave it like that. That's ridiculous. And I got to put the heater control back in. One thing I wanted to point out while I'm thinking of it, two things really, is, I've been all over this car working on it, and I've noticed there's blue paint everywhere. And I was telling my friend Al the other night, he's the guy who bought this thing back in 1981, that the guy I bought it from did a great job jamming the car, and Al said, hey, I did that. I jammed the whole car. So hats off to you, buddy. You did a phenomenal job. It wouldn't look as blue. And he said that was his goal, to make it look like this car was never any color but blue. So you did that, bud. Really nice job. And the other thing, and this, to me, this is like a huge conversation piece, but unless you are old like we are, you won't really get it, but I'll show you anyway. This collar right here that goes around the heater core pipes, my buddy Al made that. Again, he bought this car in 1981, and he wanted to turn it into an SSRS. So he started studying Camaros and, seeing what the differences were between his car and a real SSRS, or a real big block car, rather. And, he discovered pretty early on the heater box on the big blocks has the offset heater core. Small blocks are over there. Big blocks come out over here. So back then, you couldn't buy any of this shit. You had to scrounge it out of a junk car or make it yourself. And finding big block Camaros that were parted out at that time wasn't any easier than it is today. Maybe slightly easier, but you get what I mean. It wasn't very common. So Al was a sheet metal student at a vocational school, and he made that piece. So, look at it. It looks factory new. It's beautiful. When I put the big block heater core set up in the Firebird for extra space, I remember laughing the whole time going, wow, I remember when Al made this thing. And his looks just as good as the reproduction one, probably better, because it was made with care and love. So look at that thing, huh? It's just like OEM. He did a phenomenal job on it. So just wanted to showcase the talent of my buddy Al. He did some really nice work on this car. So, all right, let me get back to work and button this thing up. So that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed your small trek through my shop and watching me do stupid things. So hope your projects are coming along better than mine. Talk to you later. Thanks for watching.